Every time the words grooming gangs come up, the media and politicians waste no time blaming Muslims, specifically Pakistani Muslims. But let's be honest and ask the real question: if this is a Muslim problem or somehow rooted in Islam, then why is it that Somali Muslims, Arab Muslims, Turkish Muslims, Bangladeshi Muslims, even white converts are not part of these gangs? Why is it almost exclusively one ethnic subculture, not a religious one? The truth is simple: these criminals were not acting as Muslims, they were acting as criminals. Islam completely forbids what they did: sexual exploitation, fornication, coercion, all of it. They didn't do it because they were Muslim, they did it despite being Muslim. Now let's look at the wider picture. According to the UK Home Office's 2020 report, the majority of group-based child sexual exploitation offenders are white men. And when you step back and look at all child sexual abuse in the UK, the statistics are even more telling. Over 85% of offenders are white. Considering that white people make up about 82% of the population, this is actually a 3% overrepresentation. That might not sound like much, but when you're dealing with tens of thousands of abuse cases, it's significant. And let's be clear, this overrepresentation does not excuse or minimize it. It highlights how deep the problem runs in British society. So why is the national spotlight always on Muslims? Because this was never about child protection. It was always about a political narrative. The British press and political class are quick to label a few Pakistani men as proof of some Islamic danger, while turning a blind eye to decades of systemic abuse by priests, politicians, teachers, and celebrities overwhelmingly white and non-Muslim. Where was the outrage when thousands of British children were abused in Catholic churches? Or when elite institutions covered up crimes committed by their own? Where was the national inquiry into Jimmy Savile, who had access to hospitals and children's homes for decades with full protection from the BBC? Let's be clear, what happened in Rotherham, Rochdale, and similar cases was disgusting. But the men involved do not represent Muslims, and certainly not Islam. If they did, you'd expect to see the same patterns among all Muslim communities, but we don't. Meanwhile, the West wants to lecture us on morality as it sexualizes children in the media, normalizes porn addiction, and breaks down the family structure. Then it turns around and blames a religion that teaches modesty, chastity, and justice. We're not having it. We will condemn criminals, but we will not accept collective blame. We won't let Islam be slandered by a rotting society that has failed its own people. If you want to talk about abuse, talk about all of it. If you want to protect children, protect all of them, but don't weaponize suffering to push your hate. And next time someone says grooming gangs are a Muslim problem, ask them, why aren't other Muslims doing it? Why are most abusers white? Why the silence on the rest? Why the overrepresentation? Then watch them change the subject. If you enjoy my content, you can support me by buying my books. The sample chapters are in the video description. The link to buy is in the pinned comment.